Hello, welcome to the Trade Ideas Market Recap for Thursday, March the 6th. My name is Barry Anderson, and I'm the moderator of the trading room. This is the address to get into the room. You can log in as a guest, or you can use your Facebook or your Twitter account to log in. Today, I'm going to be going over, I think, 3 or 4 trades that I took and posted in the room, but I'm also going to go over perhaps a new concept for you to try to find stocks that are trading against the market. In other words, a counter trend play. So let's take a look at the first stock that I want to talk about. Now, this is rate that you see. Now, this is not a stock that we traded today, but why I'm showing this right now is that one of the things that we do in the pre-market, I mean, obviously we're looking for stocks that are active in the pre-market. I'm also looking for stocks that are potential earnings plays that have released earnings today or yesterday or maybe tomorrow. But the other thing that I also do, and I try to post every day in the room, this is in the pre-market, are stocks which are having secondary offerings. So these are companies which are, excuse me, which are offering shares on the market in order to raise money. So these are financings. And as a shareholder, you always hate that short term anyway, because it's diluting your position. And so 99 times out of 100, when we see these secondaries, and I'm following them in the pre-market, the stocks are going down. And so, as an example, here is yesterday's rate. So this would have been this would have been on Wednesday. I'm sorry, on Tuesday. This was Tuesday's close, and then Wednesday it was announced, and you can see how it plummeted in the pre-market. Closed at 19, approximately 19 the day before, and it was all the way down to 18. And again, it's because shareholders just don't like it when their positions get diluted. So you can see what happened though is that it popped around here and then it held for quite a while and then it had a tremendous surge up. And that's what I'm finding in a lot of these secondaries. If you follow them all day, that you can get these great bounces because usually when I mean companies raise money for various reasons. It could be for expansion, new products. If it's a bio, maybe it's for the next stage of testing. Unless it's, well, we've completely run out of money and this is the only way we can keep afloat. Generally, it's an overreaction when you see the stock is being hit hard because of the financing. So today, in the pre-market, I talked about this particular stock, and it is Sun Communities. And you can see exactly what happened. Here it closed yesterday and down, excuse me, down because of the financing. It got hit hard, and this is a 5 minute chart right here, and I told the room that if it went over $45, that I would be prepared to take a look at this, especially not a bad little consolidation pattern, and then it popped on this 5 minute candle. So I actually took the trade at 45.03. I took half off at 45.25 and the other half at 45.41. And it came back down, and I actually told the room that if it went back out over 45, that I would probably I might get back into it, and it never did. But I see in the post market, it's just poking above 45 again. I'm going to watch this tomorrow because it may have a more of a recovery. Because again, a lot of times it's just an overreaction to the fact that the company has issued a secondary. And that's a good reason to come into the room because, we do talk, obviously we talk about the active stocks, we talk about the earnings plays, but we also talk about the secondaries. And they're usually only about, I don't know, three, four, or five of them. So it's not an enormous number that you have to keep, or number of stocks that you have to keep track of. So that was the very first trade I took, and it was very quick, early for me too. It was a very quick trade, and again, I don't usually trade before 10 o'clock, but in this particular case, I was bound and determined to do it, so I did it. The second trade that I took was FSX or FCX, and this now you can't see it on here. I'm just going to briefly bring this in. This is my 20-day my 20-day strategy when the stock breaks over the 20-day high, and you won't even see FCX on this anymore because at this point it did the 20-day high I believe was 34.14, and so I took the trade at 34.16, and to be blunt, it just didn't work out. I got out of it at 34.08. below the actual trigger of 34.14. And why we don't see it anymore is because the other filters that are necessary for a stock to be on this list are not in place anymore. So that's why the stock has dropped off. So that was the second trade I took. The third trade, and this was a frustrating one. This was orange, and this came from my custom strategy, and you can see right here at 1013 at $14. So I was able to get into I took the trade at 1403, right around this level here. So again, at 1013, $14. So the alert came right here. I took the trade at 1403, mainly because it had broken the whole number. I thought, okay, that's a good thing. I don't have to worry about the whole number. I watched it go up, hit 1411, obviously hoping for a big continuation. But it didn't. And these are 5-minute charts or 5-minute candles. So it just seemed to be taking too much time. And so I decided to exit the trade right where I bought it at 1403. But I did say that I would look for an entry again. And so I did get another entry when it broke again over $14. And I took the trade again at 1403, the same price. But again, it didn't work. It basically didn't work. I held through all this period hoping that it might pop back over $14 again, but it didn't, and I exited at 13.92. So I took an 11-cent loss on that one. And the third one was Hawaiian Holdings. And it was a bit of a 1027 is when I got the alert from my custom strategy. The price was 13.81, so it was right in this area. Now, I didn't take the trade right here. These ones, the lower price ones, especially when it comes into a whole number, I'm somewhat reluctant to take the trade. But once it broke through, once it sort of patterned underneath the whole number for a little bit and it popped through, I decided to take the trade, and I took it at 1402, and when it had a nice little run. Again, these 5-minute charts, not a red candle to be seen, and it had a nice little run. And as it started to peter out, I decided to take exit the trade at 1422 for a 20-cent profit. So, I mean, not fantastic, but definitely made up for the previous trade in which I lost on. Now, the last one that I want to talk about is, where is it? VRSK. And this is something a little bit new. I'm going to bring this up and show you what I'm talking about. In the room, I had mentioned, and I actually posted, this is just my, this is a history of my basic highs and lows. This is actually, I watch this all day long, and this basically gives me a good gauge about what the market is doing. Basically, yellow means that these are stocks that are making new lows of the day, and when it's green, these are stocks that are making new highs of the day. So usually before I get into any trade, I always take a glance over here, and for instance, if I wanted to go long something and I just saw a sea of yellow, I might just pause and wait a bit before I would go long. I don't want to try to go against the market. But what happened is that this happened around the time, I guess, that Obama was talking, or the U.S. government was talking about how they didn't think that Russia should be able to hold a referendum on the issue of breaking away from the Crimean Peninsula, breaking away from the Ukraine, and so the market was starting to put in a really big down candle on the SPY, and so consequently, all these stocks kept coming through, and they're all yellow, 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 yellow. And so what I have noticed though, is that when I see something that sticks out like a sore thumb, like obviously these ones that are green, that means that these stocks are making new highs of the day. They're completely counter trend to what the market is doing. And so I picked VRSK. These are more ETFs, and I didn't care about them. So I looked at VRSK, and this was at 139, and the price was 62.37. So it was right around this area right here. So you can see it had a nice uptrend, and it was definitely going again counter to the market. So I waited for a little bit on it, and I took the trade at 62.62, and I exited at 62.74. no real reason to exit because you can see this is a pretty good channel that's going up here. But this was more of a test for me. I just wanted to see how by taking a trade that is not. I mean, I haven't tested this as a strategy, but it just seems to me intuitively that stocks that are completely going counter to the market, there is a reason for it. So why not take a hard and fast look at it? So this is very easy to do. The basic highs and lows is just this. This is what I've got in here. I'll just bring up the config file and show you the summary. I mean, the price is $5. The current volume is at least one, so at least it's trading what we would call normally, and the volume has to be at least 700,000 shares. I don't care about the smaller. I don't care about the smaller stocks. The price is $5 also, and then the trigger is a new high or a new low. So again, this is streaming constantly all day long for me. And so what I would do is on a day where let me just bring up the SPY, and you can see basically right here. This is when the SPY started going down. This I hope you can see this. This is this light blue line, and this is when the SPY was going down, and this was going up. So this is absolutely counter to the market. So that's why I figured, you know what, it's a pretty good risk reward because I was going to put my stop just in this area here. So it was only going to be about 10 cents away. And this is something I will do now for sure. When the market is in a situation like this, when a big sell-off is occurring, take a look, see what ones are making new highs. And of course, the reverse is true. If the market is in a big uptrend and I see the odd yellow stock, I will definitely click on that to see what's happening. So that's it for today's market recap. This is again the address to come into the room. So I encourage you to come in. We do a lot of pre-market routine. There's a good routine that we follow for the pre-market. We're looking for stocks that we think might have a chance for the whole day, and but also I indicate the ones that have the secondary financings, and they could be proved. I think they're going to start to prove to be really good. And I will also watch this one tomorrow. And quite frankly, over the week, there might be 15 stocks that I'll have, and I'll probably monitor them for a while just to see what happens because it might take 2 or 3 days before the reaction wears off, and then maybe the stocks will start to recover. So hope to see you in the room tomorrow, and good trading.